there was one particular meeting I went to that was more about the transhumanist agenda, although they didn't call it that. And the main speaker was Dr. Craig Ventner, which he's known for the Human Genomics Program, excuse me. And he told us the future of us. He was very definite about this. It wasn't about his opinion. He said this is being done right now, and he explained how they were working with different countries and different organizations, uploading genomes, downloading them. He talked about integrating animal DNA into the human genome, which is called a chimera. He talked about designer babies. He talked about being able to produce substances inside the human body just by a wireless communication. And so I learned about the biosensors from them and how that could work. And then I learned about a lot of the CRISPR technology, genetic modification from the A4M. I looked and saw the ingredients, and I knew about these ingredients from the meetings that I had attended previously. These were meetings on transhumanism, on genetic modification, on using biosensors in the human body. And because I knew what these key words were, I knew what it meant. And so I knew immediately that this was not about the health and well-being of people, but simply to introduce a technology into the human body where, in essence, they could start to use a Wi-Fi. It's almost being able to monitor the body wirelessly. So this is called Internet of Things or Internet of Bodies, and people should always look these things up. You don't need to believe me. But if you look around the world, all the governments have said this is a great idea for us to implement as soon as possible. So this means we ourselves are considered Internet of Things or Internet of Bodies, supposed to be connected wirelessly with any smart device. And they said this is for our protection, for our health, because, you know, we can know where you're at, monitor, but also know, you know, protect you from the bad guys. But also we can know your heart rate, blood sugar. You know, this is going to be good for you. But, you know, it could, you know, technology can be used for good or it can be used for very bad. And so when I was at these meetings, I can tell you that not once did anyone talk about using this technology for the betterment of a human being, for their health, well-being, welfare. It was always talked about in controlling and modifying behavior and manipulating the behavior, controlling somebody's thoughts. I mean, everything that is anti-God to me. And so their intention was not to use it to make the human body healthier, but to spy and do surveillance. It was just control, all about control.
You know, we have, it's a new venture. It's called Mayo Clinic Platform. And really what it is, you know, as we've been talking about prevention, or what we're hoping to do is gather the medical records, and it's a very lofty goal, but the medical records of everybody in the world. What we're hoping to do is gather the medical records, and it's a very lofty goal, but the medical records of everybody in the world can start to predict before diseases and conditions even happen. And we realize that that is the future, that, you know, hopefully being able to have all of these records, it's really going to be able to help our physicians, our scientists, and our researchers be able to cure diseases and conditions before they even occur.
Генная инженерия, которая, безусловно, даст нам потрясающие возможности в области фармакологии, новых лекарств, изменение человеческого кода, если человек страдает генетическими заболеваниями. Замечательно, ведь это так хорошо. Но есть и другая составляющая этого процесса. Что это значит? Это значит, что человек приобретает возможность влезать в генетический код, созданный или природой, или люди с религиозными взглядами говорят Господом Богом. Последствия практически какие из этого могут наступить? Это значит, что уже можно это представить, даже не очень теоретически, а уже можно практически представить, что человек может создавать человека с заданными характеристиками. Это может быть гениальный математик, это может быть гениальный музыкант, но может быть и военный, человек, который может воевать без страха и без чувства сострадания, сожаления и без боли. То есть, вы понимаете, человечество может вступить и, скорее всего, вступит в ближайшее время очень сложный и очень ответственный период своего развития и существования.
We came out of COVID first. I described that in my book, My Conversations with Albert Bourla, Pfizer. And I persuaded him to give tiny Israel the necessary vaccines to get us out first from the COVID. And the reason I could do that is because we have a database. 98%, a medical database, 98% of our population has digitized medical records and little card. And anywhere you go in any hospital in Israel, north, south, doesn't make any difference. Boom, you punch it in, and you know everything about this patient for the last 20 years. Israel became, if you will, the lab for Pfizer, and that's how we did it. We got it out, and we gave the information to the world. Not only, it's been published in medical magazines and so on. That's a database we have. I intend to bring on that database of personal medical records for entire population, a genetic database, genomes, okay? Give me a saliva sample. Volunteer. But I'm sure most people would do it. Maybe we'll pay them. Now we have a genetic record on a medical record of a robust population. You have to have diversified populations. We have people from 100 lands. This is a very powerful engine. Now let pharma companies, let medical companies, let them run algorithms on this database, okay?